How has a lack of socialisation with other children during COVID-19 impacted children's school readiness? What is school readiness? It's often difficult to define as there is no one universal definition. According to Webster et al., school readiness includes three main compartments. These are emotional self-regulation, which is the ability to control and manage your own emotions, social competence, which is the ability to interact with others positively, and family-school involvement, which is a partnership between families and schools. Williams et al. Describe school readiness skills as physical, social, emotional, cognitive and behavioural competencies that are necessary for formal schooling. School readiness among children starting primary school has been found to have decreased since the COVID-19 lockdowns began in 2020. Here is a timeline of COVID-19 lockdowns. National lockdown was introduced on the 23rd of March 2020. This involved the closure of schools, nurseries, playgroups and leisure groups, as well as orders to stay at home. On the 1st of June 2020, all pupils returned to school. Nationwide lockdown was then reintroduced on the 6th of January 2021 and lifted on the 3rd of March 2021. All remaining limitations were lifted by the 1st of July 2021. What impact has COVID-19 had? As a result of lockdown, there was an increase in working from home, and only the children of key workers attended school or nursery, meaning that the majority of children were at home full-time. The closure of activities such as playgroups and sports clubs also meant that most children could only socialise with people from their own household, and therefore not with children of their own age. But what impact has this had on school readiness? An area that may have been impacted due to the lack of socialisation during COVID are children's social cognition skills. These are the set of mental operations necessary for social interaction, often involving understanding the emotions, intentions, beliefs and behaviours of others. They're crucial for children's ability to successfully interact with others. For example, they must be able to make and maintain friendships as well as form relationships with their peers and teachers. Park focuses on the role that social cognition skills play in social interaction, suggesting that they're also important for the ability to communicate one's needs with others. Social cognition skills are therefore crucial for school readiness. Without them, children may struggle to form connections with others in the class or with being able to tell the teachers when they need something. But what impact has COVID had on these skills? In order to address the impact of the COVID-19 lockdowns on children's social cognition skills, Scott et al. Compared the performance of two cohorts of 3.5 to 5.5-year-old children tested before and after the COVID-19 lockdowns on multiple measures of false belief understanding. This is a critical social cognition skill that undergoes crucial developments in this age range. The results of this study concluded that the pandemic had negatively impacted the development of social cognition skills in young children, such as understanding the emotions and behaviours of others, suggesting that this may have reduced the levels of school readiness since COVID-19. A theory that may offer support for a lack of socialisation during lockdown having impacted children's school readiness is social learning theory. This states that individuals learn via observation and imitation, and that their environment influences the behaviour. One way that children may learn is through the influence of a role model. A role model could be anyone, such as parents, celebrities or friends that the child may observe and then later imitate the behaviour of. It's more likely for someone to act as a role model if they have similar characteristics to the observer, and behaviour is more likely to be imitated if it has positive consequences. Therefore, during the COVID-19 lockdowns, when children were unable to socialise with anyone outside of their household, there were no other children to act as role models, and as a result, no other children to imitate the behaviours of. Here is an example of social learning theory in a real-life scenario. Georgia observes another child sharing toys at nursery. She sees that sharing has positive consequences, such as making friends or praise from teachers. Georgia imitates the observed action by sharing her own toys with others. Georgia learns that sharing is positive. With nurseries and playgroups being shut during lockdown, this lack of socialisation meant that children will have experienced less of these learning moments. A further impact of the lack of socialisation during COVID is the increase in screen time for children due to orders to stay indoors, leading to increased boredom and a lack of childcare. Bergman et al. Found links between increased screen time during lockdown and slower vocabulary development for infants and toddlers. This may mean that infants and toddlers who were in lockdown during the critical period for vocabulary development may not be as skilled at communicating as children who had the opportunity for more socialisation with their own age group. Further evidence of school readiness losses since COVID-19. Gonzalez et al. Compared two cohorts of 4 to 6-year-old Uruguayan children. A control and a COVID cohort were assessed between 2018 and 2020 in 3 waves by a routinely administered school readiness instrument in public preschools. For the COVID cohort, losses were observed in motor and cognitive development. This suggests that children starting school during COVID may not have had the skills necessary to reach their full potential in school, possibly due to the lack of opportunities such as joining sports clubs and being active with other children. Verberg et al. Found that young athletes outweighed non-athletes in a range of cognitive tasks, such as short-term memory and inhibition, suggesting that children's sports clubs are beneficial for cognitive development as well as motor development. Evidence also suggests that the socialisation that comes with preschool attendance before starting school is beneficial in a wide range of areas for children. Preschool has been found to benefit language and literacy skills, math skills, cognitive and fine motor skills, as well as social emotional development. Therefore, as nurseries in England were closed during the COVID-19 lockdowns, this may explain some of the school readiness losses highlighted since the pandemic. Whilst there is significant evidence to highlight how a lack of socialisation has impacted school readiness losses, there is also evidence to suggest that other factors have an impact. Gonzalez et al. Found that in higher socio-economic status schools, the COVID-19 cohort actually experienced gains in language and literacy skills. This is theorised to be due to factors such as higher job security and access to disposable income, leading to higher socio-economic parents being less stressed. They were therefore able to focus fully on their children and take part in activities such as shared reading. Shared book reading is where an adult sits with a child or group of children to read together. It has been found that children who are read to regularly learn language faster and enter school with a larger vocabulary than children who are not regularly read to. Further evidence found that infants and toddlers in high SES families showed accelerated vocabulary gains during lockdown, which were associated with shared book reading with parents, therefore emphasising the importance of socialisation with parents. Therefore, these findings may suggest that the lack of socialisation with other children during lockdown was not the sole reason for school readiness losses, and that socialisation with parents and other adults may be just as beneficial in some areas of school readiness, such as language and literacy skills. One risk factor for not being school ready is growing up in a lower socio-economic status family. As discussed before, lower SES families may have been under more stress during lockdown due to higher job insecurity, therefore leading to less time being spent with children doing activities such as shared book reading. However, a further reason for this risk factor may also be that due to higher stress levels within the home, children may develop higher levels of anxiety. When they start school, they will then find it difficult to be away from their caregiver and experience separation anxiety, leading to difficulty settling into the school environment. Another risk factor for a lack of school readiness are developmental disorders such as autism spectrum disorder, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, or other developmental delays. Children who are not neurotypical may find it difficult to develop social cognition skills due to challenges in processing information. It's imperative for society to determine why there is a reduction in school readiness. Research has highlighted that children who have poor language skills at age 5 are more than twice as likely to be unemployed at age 34 than children with normally developing language. Therefore, by identifying reasons for these developmental delays, it's possible to put interventions in place to help children become school ready, such as new policies or more effective support systems. Addressing the problem early may mean that future society will be better equipped for the workforce, and there will therefore be lower levels of unemployment and therefore increased mental health. The COVID-19 lockdowns have also highlighted to psychologists how crucial socialisation is for young children's development. As a result of this, it may contribute to adapting and refining existing theories about child development based on real-life evidence. This development in knowledge around how environmental factors, such as a lack of socialisation, can disrupt school readiness can help to ensure that children will not lose out on crucial socialisation in the future.